Hello and welcome to Valheim, uh, open world, kinda sandboxy survival game created by Iron Gate AB and published by Coffee Stain Publishing. It's a neat I wanna say little game. It's not that huge. It's still, is it? Still it's not fully released yet. Yeah, it's still early access, but there's plenty of content and fun content. There's quite a lot that one can do, and even more that you can do with friends. But I want to try something new. I want to try 100-day challenge, see how much there is about that actually. I've seen a couple of 100-day challenges, and I was always like, how can you spend so much time on that? So just gonna do it on my own. So the goal is killing the last boss. I think that's a goblin boss, whatever he's called. At the current point of this version 0.26206.5. And I'm gonna create a new character, a new world, and I'll see you in a bit. Long ago the All-Father Odin united the worlds. He threw down his foes and cast them into the 10th world, then split the boards that held their prison with the World Tree and left it to drift unanchored, place of exile. For centuries this world slumbered uneasily, but it did not die. As glacial ages passed, kingdoms rose and fell out of sight of the gods. When Odin heard his enemies were growing once again in strength, he looked to Midgard and sent his Valkyries to scour the battlefields of the greatest and of the warriors dead to the world. They would be now born again in Valheim. And here we are, buried by a big bird. Damn those size.
Hail, warrior!
Hey Hugin. Hugin sent you to guide you to the travels, the megaliths, the sacrificial stones representing the Forsaken, which you must slay in order to ascend to Valhalla.
I bring tidings!
Yeah, these stones mark spots where we can summon this guy. So that's a position where we find a stone where we can summon Eikthyr. First one. And we have the Elder, Bone Mass. That's called Dragon Mother? No, it's just Mother. And that's the guy we want to kill in 100 days. So, like in every survival game, first we gotta do unlock everything. That's neat. By the way, a little bit of a ruin to plunder, and as you can already see, there are some skills. So there is a little bit of role-playing system in there too. Don't scare me like that. Yeah, so in the lower left corner you see a red bar. 25, that's our HP. And with foods, we can increase that temporarily. As you can see, the raspberries give us 7 health on top of our 25 and also stamina for a few minutes. Yeah. Everything is usable for something, more or less, but first we need wood. And mushrooms, another starter food, but I want stone. Because what we need is a stone axe so we can chop trees down. I could punch these little ones, but eh. There we go. Now we got that out of the way. So now we can think of where to make a first shelter. And as you can see, pretty much everything for stamina, running, jumping, sneaking, swimming, hitting, blocking. And yeah, when you have no stamina, you can't block, you can't hit. Fun times. So getting good foods and in the process high health and stamina is quite important actually as the game advances. But for now we have to figure out how to get food in the first place, because there's not much of processing we can do. So in these meadow biomes, most we'll be able to is cooked meat. As you can see in the lower left corner with the fork, above that are 3 squares, because you can have up to 3 food buffs at the same time. So I think the highest we can get is cooked boar meat, mushroom and raspberries. But again, first of all, I want to find a good place to settle down on. And because most worlds are more or less small or big islands, because I want to settle somewhere near the water. And seeing this little thing here, okay, that might not be so good. So from our intro, we know that there's ocean, but I've played this game a little bit, so I know this is Black Forest, which is a second biome we're going into once we've killed Eiktir. And I think the other one next to that is Swamp, which is the third one. So that might not be the best way to head right now, but nowhere to run, nowhere to go. Also, we maybe find something neat on the way there. Who knows? Also, another thing I have to keep in mind is you don't regenerate health when you are out of food, basically. And having no armor means even the boars do hurt. There in the distance I see another ruined house and more boars to kill. Because we gotta kill the boars, they drop leather scraps and that will allow us to build our first crude bow. So we can hunt deer. And overall be a little bit more efficient. Another mechanic here is next to attacking, the blocking. When you block you take a little bit less damage, but when you block at the right time, do the so-called parry, you can stun the enemy, and when the enemy is stunned you deal much more damage, and also when you parry you take a lot less damage. So it's, I wouldn't say important to learn how to parry, but definitely is worth it. There are also audio cues. And here's a big ching, you know you parried correctly. And when you hear a ching when you hit the enemy, you know you landed a crit on a stunned enemy. And there I hear bees. Would be nice to get that honey and potentially a queen bee. Yeah, I build a hammer. Stop being a furry. I want to see if I can't build a bow yet, but for that I need a workbench, and for that... Is it? Okay, I need wood. But not only do I have to place a workbench... Come on. Get off of there, you're worse than a cat. So I still need 2 more leather scraps. Yeah, complex items. Come on, grading. That was only 1 leather scrap. So why I want the queen bee is... honey is a good food at the beginning and you need it later to brew mead and other stuff. And when you find honey cove, whatever it's called, and destroy it and you get a queen bee, you can build a bee hut or whatever that is called and regularly get honey from that, so basic farming. Nice. Also, like in any survival game, better have it and don't need it than need it and don't have it. Also I can just tear this down because I'm not gonna go here again. Also you notice the pieces having different colors, like this is blue, here it goes green. That's because the game has, I wanna say, some sort of physics engine. As in, blue means the piece is grounded, and then it goes green, where it's stable but not grounded anymore, and slowly it turns yellow and then red, and at some point it won't be stable anymore and just break down. Alright. Good bow. Yeah, whatever. Stones. You might wonder why the damage numbers there were yellow. Not because it was a building, but because the game also has a stone, paper, scissors system. There are different damage types: slashing, blunt, and pierce. And some entities, I wanna say, are more susceptible to certain kinds of damage. So of course wood is getting damaged more when you use an actual axe. Basically, when the number is yellow, you deal more damage. When the number is white, you deal normal damage, and when the number is grey, the thing is resistant to it, and you deal less damage. And now, some of you may say, but when you hit a tree, it's white, but an axe is actually made to cut wood. Why isn't it yellow? I don't know. So now I want to find a good spot where to build a base. Okay. Your little grayling. Fine, run away. Build a deer instead. Get some good deer meat. Come here, come. And another deer. And another deer. Lovely, lovely. And you already have 2 trophies. These are rarely dropped by enemies. And you can use them for decoration. But the deer trophy actually plays a bigger role at first. Nice. So deer hide is very important early on. First we can craft a second bow, a better bow from it. And also an armor, a first armor. I think this looks good. So it's getting dark, which means two things, basically. We see less, and these graylings are more likely to spawn. Also very important if you start playing this game, be respectful to trees. They can easily kill you. If you don't watch out. Just stay back, look where they fall, let them roll, because they deal a ton of damage. At least they can when they are rolling down fast, and when they don't have any armor and only 25 HP, chances are good that you just die. I'm speaking out of experience. Later, of course, when you have armor and HP, it's not that important anymore, but still. Okay, so first we need workbench. Needs a roof, so just because I want to see if I can't craft a little hoe already. Is this enough? Yes, it is. And I can craft a hoe. And no, it's not for farming. Yeah. It's cold, so stamina regenerates slower. Yeah. So the hoe isn't for farming or anything, it's more, that's what the cultivator is for, but what the hoe is for is to flatten the ground. So we have an even building ground. And of course it costs stamina. So flatten the ground some. And well, for now to see shit. Much better. And that's what happens when something isn't grounded by anything or supported, it just breaks. So I like to start with the floor and see that nothing whereas I know where the ground is clipping through. And already I need more wood. Also I plan on making that a little bit bigger. My first run I created like a 3x3 house at first. That's not so good. Anyway. That quickly got too small and I had to add on to it, and I added on to it again and again. And at the end it was still a little bit too small. So, gonna push this closer to the shore. And this is also a neat thing about the game that I like, the waves. Because there is also, like, currently it's a little bit windy, but nothing dramatic, but there's also there are storms, and the storms can go crazy with huge waves and everything. And my axe broke. But that's no problem, because repairing is free. What I don't like so much is when you swim you drain stamina, and when you have no stamina while you swim you take damage and die. Meanwhile the enemy, what a stamina. Can I eat that? I mean, in some enemies it makes sense, like the neck, they are obviously an amphibian species, so sure, they can swim without end, but railings, ear, horse, anything else that isn't aquatic. Missing requirements, doesn't matter, we'll just peer down this here. Deconstruct this crafting bench. Set it up here for now. And build up the wall again. And not to forget the roof. Just for now. Hope that's enough. The station is too exposed. Oh, of course. That's another thing that's a little bit offsetting sometimes. Like, when is a station too exposed and when it's not. It's sometimes I put down like 2 walls and a roof above it and it's enough, and other times I make basically a hut or a bus stop kind of thing all around it and it still says it's too exposed. So yeah, this is going to take a while and I'm not sure if I want to keep it that way. Yeah, I need a lot of wood anyway first, so... That can also happen, thanks due to the tree damage. It fell one tree, it falls onto another, and it damages it enough to take it down. So yeah, day 2, the hut is mostly complete. I always like to line it up with some wood beams to cover up the edges, and as you can see here, it doesn't always fully line up with the ground, so it helps with the clipping there as well. And with that, it is done for now. Except maybe a bed for 8 woods. Oh, right. I forgot something. I forgot something very important. So the thing is, you can place a bed to invite the bird in. Yes. That's an unclaimed bed now. Now it's mine. But to actually use it, there needs to be a fire nearby. And as I placed down my home, I made it 6 tiles wide. That's also why I use the big doors for double doors, because I like symmetry. But now I'm faced with the problem that I don't have... Oh wait. It should be possible. Just have to make it pretty again. Or maybe not. That's for now. These two. And where is the fireplace? There's a fireplace. I need stone. I have stones. Because the game also simulates smoke. And I don't know if it would go down enough, but if I were with my head up there, I would get smoke damage. And as you can see, the smoke cloud slowly wanders off into that direction because it can't go any more here because of the sloped roof. And if that is enough, smoke shouldn't stop there. Actually go through the gap and out. Lovely. Oh. Here. Yeah, whatever. Okay, now it's stopping. Eh. Maybe I'll rebuild this later. But for now, day 2 is over. I have a basic survival shelter, I have my chests, I have basic equipment, and next time I can go out deer hunting, craft my first armor, and then head out to kill Ikti already. So thank you all for watching and see you all next time. Goodbye.